So when you said homework for today was module 1 or what have you, this is what you're referring to.
It seems like the page is a little stalled. Would everybody agree?
Yeah,
For the course, Sherry, not for what you're looking for. So let's move on from logging in. And if you have technical questions, you can email me. And if you email me, I'll forward it to Joe Gabriel, or you can email Joe Gabriel and CC me. It's not a problem.
so Carrie, can you do me a favor and just bring up module 1? I mean, I had it open. I'm not sure why I can't get to it. Yes.
What do you mean, in the drive?
Yeah, the module 1. In class, there it is, right there. Yes, that. Yes.
You want to play this?
Well, no, just if you bring it up, we can just flick through it. So, yeah, we could just flick through some of this court stuff. So this is actually, you can tell that we can explain to them that this is what the course is going to look like. And we're going to go through things. So if we just go to the court stuff and we can talk about that.
All right, hold on, Sherry. Hold on.
Yep.
Will, you had a question. Will, what's your question?
Yes, yeah, so so I've been just looking on the just looking on the module stuff, and like and you were talking that there were some book like rule references in certain areas pertaining to like the rules, and then certain like our modules, like where are the rule references?
We're going to show you.
That's fine.
Yep. Excellent. Great question though.
Great question, Will. Thank you.
So this is the first module. It'll play. So if you see the top in the red banner, Will, that's where the rule reference is. So that's rule 1-2, which is section 2. And that's what it talks about, the full court and the dimensions. See the red banner?
Yep, got it. Yep.
You see 1-2?
Yep, got it.
That's the rule reference. Okay, so we know that, go back one, Care. That, the court is 94 by 50 feet, 94 feet long, 50 feet wide. Okay, and then the next one is in Rule 1, Section 3, the boundary lines. It talks about the boundary lines, sidelines, the end lines. They're highlighted in yellow. And, this is, 2 inches width. We don't really have much to say about this stuff when we walk into the court. The court is what it is, and we have to play on what we have. So, but there are some specific things that the court has to have for it to be legal. So like the lines around the court should be at least 2 inches wide, for instance. Flick, Care. So, there must be, if you see in the yellow, this is also Rule 1, Section 3, the area around the court, especially at the collegiate level, there needs to be at least 3 feet and preferably 10 feet of space on the sidelines and the end lines. You usually have more space on the end lines than you do on the sidelines because the table and the benches are right there. So 3 feet is really good. If you have more than that, that's even better. But you need to have more space on the end lines because if you have cheerleaders and mascots, there needs to be at least 6 feet for them to be able to stand there and cheer and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of important. The radius around the circle. So in the center circle, it's a radius of 6 feet. And this is in Rule 1-4. And if you go to the next slide, Carrie, the spaces around the circle. Okay, these individual spaces are where the non-jumpers go around the circle, center circle before the jump. Those areas are 36 inches deep and about 3 feet wide. So these are kind of things we need to know. We know that each person is allowed to have a space around the circle. And that if A1 and A2 are next to each other, and B2 wants that spot, A1 and A2 need to let them in there. All right, so, and then we will learn that anybody outside of those 3 feet or those 36 inches, the center circle restrictions do not apply to them. So anyone off of that circle, they're allowed to move.
Can I make sure, Sherry,
Yes.
the 36 inches deep, can you like use arrow?
So yeah, can you see my arrow? Can you see my arrow on here?
No, I have to do the arrow.
Okay, so Kara, yeah, she just, the space from the center circle and then, yeah, that space right in that one slot is 36 inches deep. Okay,
Chad, did you have another question?
No, not now. I'm just taking it all in.
okay,
All
good.
right. All right.
Thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate you asking me though.
All right.
Next
I
slide,
saw your hand up. I just wanted to make sure.
next slide, Karen. Karen, next slide.
I moved it to the next slide.
Nope, next one. Yep, next one. Okay, so the division line. So we'll talk about the division line. We'll talk about the division line is 2 inches, 2 inches wide. And we'll talk about the front court and the back court. What is the front court is bigger than the back court, right? Because when you cross over into the front court, the division line is part of the back court, and that's 2 inches less than the front court. So we'll talk about that. Okay. The other, okay, the free throw lane area. All right, the lane area is 15 feet from the center of the basket or the backboard to the free throw line. And the width of the free throw lane is 12 feet wide. So these are just things that you kind of really need to know or just should know about the areas of on the court. The next, Karen. So this is the three-point line. This is a new rule this year. So I don't know if any of you have done college ball or high school ball is 19-9, but this is a new rule. We've moved the rule, the 3-point line back to the FIBA and the men's line to 22 feet, 1 3/4 inches. And, before they did that, they did testing and took surveys and all that kind of stuff before they made that decision. So that is a new rule for the women's game this year. So we're kind of excited about that. The women shoot from there anyway, so it's not really going to be a big difference. Now the restricted arc area. This is a restricted arc. It's right in front of the, it's in the middle of the lane, not the middle of the lane, but the back end of the lane. And it's 4 feet wide from the backboard to 4 feet out. And we have a whole rule that we will talk about in length when we get to that area about the restricted area and all fun stuff about that. So, and it used to be 3 feet. Now it's 4 feet so that it coincides with the men's as well. This is called the lower defensive box. And the lower defensive box is from the second marked lane space in the free throw area. And it goes down to the end lines and it's 3 feet outside of the lane area. And the 3 feet, there's a tick mark on each side of the lane area that marks that, the lower defensive box. And again, this will come in play when we're talking about secondary defenders and fouling. And if the secondary defender was in or out of the restricted area, and whether the player who starts the dribble, whether they're outside of the lower defensive box or were they inside the lower defensive box. It's a whole rule about that. And we will go into that depth in a later time. Out of bounds. So this is just kind of straightforward. And this is rule 7.1, Will. So the reference is up top. So we've jumped to rule 7. is a player inbounds or out of bounds? And that's something that we have to determine. When is a player inbounds or out of bounds? Well, a player's out of bounds when she's touching something, either the boundary line or something or an object out of bounds. And there's a whole bunch of different pictures that depict whether the player is out of bounds or not.
Hold on, Sherry, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
All right. Show of hands, show of on the chat. Who went through rule 1?
Only a couple people, I believe. Will did. Yes, great.
Okay, Will,
We
who else?
did.
Alicia?
No, I didn't. Not with all the wedding stuff. Actually, I just finally got through to the website, so now I'll be able to catch up to date.
Okay, great.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
Who else? Anthony, Chad, Rick? You can put a response in the chat.
No, Carl, this is the first time I'm going through it too. So I was gonna be asking the same question about the email that came. So I'm in it now. I got it all settled and figured out.
And I'm sorry, who's that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this is Anthony.
Anthony. Okay. Rick, how about you?
Yes, Rick did.
Chad?
No, he's not signed up yet.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Instead
I
of
still
going,
answered with my opinion though. What it looks like to me. So if I'm dead wrong, you make me better. So it works out anyway.
Okay.
who's that? I'm sorry.
Chad.
Okay. So let's do this. Instead of going through module, because look, you guys have to read, you guys have to go through the modules. Those who went through it, what questions do you have?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and this is just me, I find that this slide presentation is very good and will be very, very helpful along with Rule 1, because it gives us both a written and a visual presentation of what we needed, so we can then put it together and go from there.
I agree 1000%.
I love
agree.
the visuals.
Yeah, and so that's.
I
kind of
wish
why-
other eyeballs did it.
What we need you guys to do, we need you guys to go through these modules, and then when you come on with us, we need questions.
Can I ask
Gotcha.
a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so right now, this 7-1 rule at the top, the player is on the white line, she's out of bounds.
Correct.
Now, if she was inbounding the ball and she steps on the line but not into the court, she is out of bounds and it is still a legal inbound pass.
Alicia,
Excellent.
what do you mean by inbounding the ball? What exactly?
I was gonna ask the same question. Is she the thrower in?
She's the
or-
thrower inner.
Okay, so she's the thrower in.
Throwing in the ball. I just gave her the ball on the sideline to inbound or throw in. She's the thrower inner.
Okay, and she steps on the
On the
sideline.
line, but not into, she's still
Not-
on the paint. She's not
Okay,
on the
so-
hardwood. So
so-
she would still be considered out of bounds.
On the line, if you're out of bounds, on the line is still out of bounds.
Okay, thank you.
On
If
but
that
not
makes sense.
over, Alicia,
Okay,
correct?
very good.
Right.
On but
Thank-
not over. Yes, you're still out of bounds. Great
Thank you.
question, though.
Once her pinky toe crosses over that sideline,
Mhm.
she's considered in bounds.
Thank you.
But if she's on the line, she's still out of bounds. Great question.
Question, Carl.
Go ahead, G.
Go ahead, G.
So the timing equipment, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So the red light and red LED light, right? So we have what's that? The backboard. And then behind the backboard, that will be red LED light, correct?
So Carrie, do you want to go through and see if there's a slide there?
The question about it is that if the ball hit sometime the basket on top and then bounce up and then hit the light in front above the backboard, right? Is that considered out of bounds? Or, because it bounced and then come back and actually in.
Sherry, I'll let you answer that. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So yes, G, that would be out of bounds because anytime that the ball goes over the backboard from any direction, it is out of bounds. Plus, the LED light or the horn light is out of bounds. It's out of bounds. It's part of the brackets on the basket, and that is considered out of bounds. So absolutely. And we've had that when the shot clock is mounted right above the backboard, the ball sometimes bounces up and hits it, and that is an out of bounds. Great question. Great
Thank you.
question. Yep.
Yeah, and and one question that I have here, so yeah, I mean, like, this is like a very similar play, but it's a play where like the ball goes like all the way to the top, like all the way to the almost highest like point of that backboard, and like it may look like it's going out of bounds, but it's not.
The top of the backboard is in bounds.
All four sides are.
Yep.
All four
So
sides
go
of the
ahead,
back.
go ahead. Complete your
Right.
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Complete your question. I need to cut you off.
No, that's no, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so the top of the backboard is considered in bounds. If the ball happens to touch like the supports that hold the backboard or something like that, while it's on the top of the backboard, then yes, that's out of bounds. But the ball can literally roll from one side of the top of the backboard to the other side of the top of the backboard, and it's still considered in bounds as long as it doesn't touch any of the supports. Does that make sense?
Yep, which means like it doesn't go behind any of the supports.
As long as it doesn't go over or behind, it's still in bounds. If it goes over, that's out of bounds. But if shot hits the ring, it bounces up, hits the top of the backboard, and rolls on the top of the backboard, that's good. The sides, the top, the bottom, that's all considered in bounds.
Yeah, and
What about behind? Sorry.
Behind the backboard is out of bounds,
Okay.
right? We can't shoot from players. I shouldn't say we because we're not shooting, but players can't shoot from behind the backboard. If a thrower in is throwing the ball in and the ball hits the back of the backboard, that's out of bounds. If it hits the bottom of the backboard, that's inbounds. And you'll know the difference because if it hits the back of the backboard, it's going to hit the back and it's going to go right out of bounds. If it hits the bottom of the backboard, normally it's going to skim that bottom of the backboard and it's going to go into the court. So that's a legal play.
Okay. Yeah, we just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what, the modules look like. We have, Carrie and I have we also videoed, we voiceovered on all this. So you're going to hear our wonderful voices as you go through these. So we kind of just wanted to give you an overview of what to expect when you get on the module for the first time. We're going to walk you through everything, and it's like what Chad said, it's really easy. The visuals are great. We've got stuff that pops in and out. We've got arrows. It's just, I believe it's really, really well done, and it's going to be easy for you guys to go through. So, hey, Anthony, you have a question?
I do, Sherry. So, and I apologize, my camera is not working.
That's
I've been
okay.
fiddle with that. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between seeing your screen and the class itself, and I'm only able to get a video to run. I don't see the PowerPoint slides. Am I the only one that's coming across that?
So you're not getting video with the audio?
No. I do. I'm able to play the video with the audio.
Okay, so you're seeing this. This is what you're seeing, correct?
But what you're showing on your screen or Carrie's screen is a PowerPoint slide. PowerPoint present.
That's what they all are. Anthony, that's what they all are, and they'll just run concurrently. That's what they are. And you'll be able to stop it, pause it, forward, backwards,
Okay, all
like a
right.
video. Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have the actual PowerPoint deck,
So
slide deck.
what happens is you have access. These are video slides, so they are voiced over and they're videoed over. So they will run live. It's not like this has no audio to it. We're just showing you the words and basically. So you'll
Okay.
have access to run those over and over and over again for the 90 days that you're in the course.
Right, okay.
Yep. Okay,
Thanks, guys.
sure.
All right,
Rich,
so
Richard has a question.
So for instance, when I'm looking at tonight, module 1, it's all about court and equipment.
Yes,
I can imagine, and you will know far better than any of us, there are a couple rules here or modules that are much more in depth and will raise so many more questions.
correct.
absolutely, and we're looking forward to it.
Did you designate any extra time for any particular rules or modules, or will we kind of just let this happen organically and hope that there's time for all of it?
We, you know, each night each Zoom is scheduled for an hour, but if we have to go over and there is rule 9 and rule 10, if we need to go further, we will. Because
Sherry, can I jump in?
that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you pass this course. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So yeah, to answer your question, if we have to go over time, we will.
I am very, I
Accessible.
love talking rules. All right. Google Classroom is a great resource. If you put a question on there, trust me, I'll see it. I'll get back to you. If not, everybody get a pen and paper right now.
Got it.
Ready? Here is my email address. I'm going to spell it all out. CSMALL0904@gmail.com. Email me and I will get back to you. I love talking rules. I love it.
Of course,
right.
I really want you to put those questions in the Google Classroom stream so that we all
But,
learn
yeah,
from them.
That's the first thing you should do is put it on the Google Stream, because if you have that question, I'm pretty sure somebody else has that question and they may not want to ask it. They may be shy about asking it. So put it on the Google Classroom first. If I don't get back to you, shoot me an email.
Can
So
you say your email one more time, please?
I would be happy to. Ready?
Yes.
C as in Carl, S like Sam, M like Mary, A like Apple, LL like Larry. 0904 @gmail.com.
The other suggestion that I'd like to give you, just because I don't want to forget it, is with the Google Classroom, okay, there's 13 registered participants in this class. Not everyone comes on every Zoom every night, as we can see. But I know you all have access to various Zoom and Google Meets and other virtual platforms. If you want to throw it out there on that Google Classroom, listen, I have 2 hours free this coming Thursday night. Who wants to Zoom, with Google Rules, and put the link on the Google Classroom? I'm telling you, people are going to start coming. And those of you, you're from different time zones as well. So, we highly suggest, like if we were in the room together physically, you would all make friends and meet on the side, because that's what happens in these classes. So I suggest, hey, if you have, an hour on whatever day it is this week, put the link out there. Come on and let's talk rules. And let's talk about the course, and let's figure out what's working for us and what isn't.
Because I have another.
So It's just an idea. If you want extra study time, we'll give it to you, but you can also meet on your own within yourselves. And trust me, you're gonna learn a lot without us being there, because you're gonna be a little bit more accountable for knowing the material.
Can I ask one other question? So I misunderstood when looking at the agenda. So it says course your orientation Zoom 1, and then the next bullet point is complete module 1, virtual self-paced. You guys want us to kind of do this in reverse. We complete a module and then we have the class where we can ask the questions. Is that
Yes.
accurate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we do the module in advance of the class.
Yes.
Basically, this is the first class. This is the official first start. Like I said, we had planned to launch it October 17th, but we wanted to move forward one more week. So, and look, you know, it's not like we're going to kick you off the class. If you don't get through the module, you can stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning and do it when you need to do it. But it's great if you have it done by the time. We just wanted to give you a bit of a timeline for that.
So Kara, the next class is Wednesday night, correct?
Yes, the 27th.
So guys, you know, I guess you've got 2 days, well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to do module 1. I think it's only about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. There's a review sheet that goes along with it and a quiz. Now, if you want to just go through the module and maybe do the review quiz sheet and then do the quiz after we talk on Wednesday, or you can do it prior to it. It doesn't really matter. I believe you can take the quiz over again. So, you know, that's kind of like your homework for the next 3 days. If you could kind of get that done, that would be great. And then if you have questions, we can answer them on Wednesday.
Good.
And even if you go ahead, if you go to module 2, we'll be able to answer questions on those as well. So, yeah. Wednesday is,
Questions about rule 1.
yes,
Go for it, G.
The ball.
yes.
I'm reading, really technical word anyway. So they didn't say anything about like, you know, it say that the weight should be not less than 18 ounce and
Yes.
then not more than 20 ounce. Like,
Yes.
so how we measure that without scale?
So it's not per square, it's actually PSIs, and it's the air pressure inside the ball. And
Okay,
so,
what is PSI? I know that.
Pounds
I
per
work for
square
volleyball.
Per
So.
square inch. Pressure per square inch. That's PSI.
So what is the number for basketball?
18 to 20 ounces.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
But one of the best ways to measure it, and Sherry can attest to that, is you hold the ball
Mhm.
at a measurement of it's 6 feet, right, Sherry?
Carrie, there's a screen for it. If you could move to the screen.
And
Okay.
it should bounce to about 52 to 54 inches, if I'm not mistaken.
Carrie, put it to the ball screen.
Yeah, I need to think in centimeter.
Oh, you do metric.
Yes.
No, sorry about that.
Don't worry. Convert easy.
Yeah,
Richard's saying 120 centimeters.
There you go.
No, Carrie, it's when we're bouncing the ball. The height of the ball. It's further forward. Yeah, keep going. Here we go, keep going. There it is. So there it is in 116, G.
Yes.
Okay? So you drop it from 6 feet and it should bounce. I don't know what it is.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Okay.
Here's
Okay.
one thing that I've learned. G. Deader is better. You don't want a ball that bounces way too much. You don't want a ball that's too inflated, because you know what? It's going to make us work harder, to be honest. That's what I've learned. Right? You want the ball to hit the rim, bounce up, and go in. A ball that's overinflated is going to hit the rim, bounce all the way up in the air, and then bounce off, and then someone's gonna have to rebound. Right?
Mhm,
In our game now, shooting is a big part of our game now. So
mhm.
we want shooters to make their shots.
Got it.
And the way shooters make their shots, I'm not saying it has to be dead, but you want a ball that doesn't bounce too much.
Chad has a question.
No, I actually wanted to co-sign what he said. I've definitely learned that over the last basketball season. I was just gonna say, and don't be scared to ask somebody else, is there another ball? Don't feel like
Yeah.
you're signed up to that ball for the rest of the game. Like
Yeah.
there's other balls in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
your
don't be
best
scared to
friend-
ask somebody else for a ball. And you're supposed to come with two needles anyway to take the
I was
air
gonna
out.
say that your best friend is your inflate that little pin that inflates that.
Yeah,
that-
you should walk around with two of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and what we usually do is we ask the point guard to pick out a ball because they have to handle the ball most of the time. And
Yes.
they know the feel of the ball and
Yes.
how hard they want it to bounce. So that's why we ask the point guard to pick it out.
Yes.
Deader is better.
Yep.
Deader is better. Always remember that. Deader
Yep.
is better. You
Right.
don't want a bouncy ball. You don't want too dead of a ball, but deader is better.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's actually like one of the questions in the modules for the quizzes. You know, how high should the ball bounce and how much should the ball be inflated? So you guys just got an answer.
Okay. So Carrie, I mean, if there aren't any other questions, we could probably wrap it up. It's just modules. I think modules 1 and 2 are supposed to be due this week. And so, you know, we'll be here on Wednesday night and hopefully you guys will have some questions for us and we'll go from there.
When I came on, you were mentioning Monday and Tuesday, there was a Zoom about the test. Is there a link that we can get on and participate with that?
Carrie put it in the classroom.
Okay,
Yeah. She put,
thank you.
are you talking about the NCAA exam?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, the Northeast Study Group is Monday and Tuesday nights, 6:30 to, I don't know how long they're gonna go, but it's
okay,
1 through 37 and then 38 through 75. So we'll see how long that takes.
great, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Are you
Cool.
taking it
There's
this
gotta be
year,
more
Alicia?
questions out there. There's
I
gotta be more
would-
questions out
I
there.
usually-
One more, yeah, sorry, Alicia.
Go ahead. Who's up?
I usually do take it.
Or Lisa? Sorry.
So any equipment that unnatural or desire player height, like, do you have any experience about that?
Equipment
Yeah,
that's
and-
not natural. I'm not sure what you mean
Like
by that.
something that would help someone jump higher, Carl.
Yes, that's illegal.
Something funny that
So
you
like if you added some kind of lifts inside your shoe or even, you know, springs in your heel, something that, you know, it can't be seen, something that would make you taller. Not natural.
Is that what you're asking, G?
Yes, thank you.
That's a great question.
Awesome, yeah. Who else? Alicia, you had one, right?
No, that was it. It was about the Northeast Study Group. No, it was answered. Thank you.
Okay.
Regarding the arc underneath the basket, if I understand correctly, the line indicates you're in the restricted area.
Yes.
If your heel is on the line.
Mhm.
Just as if you were out of bounds.
Correct.
On or over, you're in the RA, what's called the RA. If you're on or over,
So you could be on your tippy toes and still be over that line. Considered over that line. So yeah, you would be considered in the restricted arc.
and we'll talk about that a lot more when we get into guarding and equal guarding position and secondary defenders and stuff like that.
Thank you.
Okay, good question.
What else? What else? I know there's more questions out there. Come on, guys and gals. Let's go, everyone. Don't be shy. Don't make me call on somebody and ask a question. Guess that's what I gotta do.
Well, they
All right,
just,
there we go. I got a question for everybody. Dribbler A1 rushes against B2, who is touching the boundary line. The official sounds the whistle and rules A1 is out of bounds. Is the official correct? Who wants to try to answer that question?
Oh, Carl, can you repeat it again because I couldn't hear you for a second?
I would be happy to. I'll repeat it 2 more times if you need me to. Dribbler A1 brushes against B2, who is touching the boundary line. The official sounds the whistle and rules A1 is out of bounds. Is the official correct? I'll read it one more time to let you guys think. Dribbler A1 brushes against B2, who is touching the boundary line. The official sounds the whistle and rules A1 is out of bounds. Is the official correct?
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
You mean A1 and B2 like touching each other?
Yes, A1 has the ball. A1 is dribbling. All right, B2 is standing on the sideline. A1 touches B2 as she's trying to get by B2. All right, the official says that it's an out of bounds violation. B.
No.
No, I don't. Yeah, like I have a no there as well because because the ball handler didn't have any of their part of their body or ball out of bounds in this scenario.
Okay. Who else? We got a lot of no's. Anybody say yes? Anybody disagree? And if so, why?
Agree.
G, you agree? Alicia, what do you think?
On face value, I would agree, but then again, the person is out of bounds, so anything that touches something out of bounds is now out of bounds.
Justin, what do you think?
So
I disagree. I say it's out of bounds on B2 because
Ooh,
B2
I
is
like
out of bounds.
I like this. I like this. I like this.
changed
Will,
my
what do you
mind.
got, Will?
I say
Yeah, I agree with Alicia.
I say he's in bounds. Like I've had a player brush up against me as I was in trail, and I wasn't out of bounds at that. I wasn't out of bounds at that time, and I didn't call him out of bounds. So
Okay. But as officials, Chad, what are we? As officials, what are we?
part of the court.
yes,
Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah. So and referee the defense helps us with this action as well.
Okay. Anthony, what do you got? Did you answer already?
No, I say out of bounds. A is out of bounds.
Kia Hicks.
Yeah, I said it's out of bounds.
Who else? Who else didn't answer?
B2 is playing defense on A1, is that correct?
B, usually when we talk about plays, A is offense and B is defense, usually. If it's switched, then we'll let you know for sure.
That doesn't really answer your question, but if B2's makes contact with A1 and is out of bounds, and it's judged a foul, B2 is not legally guarding, if I'm not mistaken. So I can't imagine they could disqualify A as being out of bounds.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this to Sherry. What you got, Sherry?
Well, a player shall be out of bounds when they touch the floor or any object other than a person
Other than a person, okay.
on the court. That's out of bounds.
So the ruling is,
So, no, they're not, this is not an out of bounds play. 7-1-1.
one more question. This is a tricky one. Which part of the court is larger or bigger, the front court or the back court? And
Back
why?
court.
Somebody
Back
said front
court.
court. Who is that? Who said front court?
I said backcourt.
Who's that?
Chad
Chad.
said backcourt.
Kia says backcourt.
Backcourt because the division line is considered part of the backcourt as well, and not the front court.
Is
Very
that
good.
Rich?
Oh, he stole my thunder.
Is that Rich?
Very
Hey,
good.
hey,
Bill.
we didn't give the correct answer yet. We didn't give the correct answer yet. I wanted to know the answer and why.
I co-signed his answer. I just want to put that on record.
Okay. All right. Who else? Does everybody agree with that answer? Come on, Kia. You quiet over there. What's going on, Kia?
I put it in the chat. I said, yes, it's backcourt.
Backcourt is bigger. G, what do you think? You agree?
Agree, yes.
Alicia's agreeing.
Chad, Will, Rick, Anthony?
Agree.
Agree.
The backcourt is bigger because the division line is part of the backcourt. That's 1000% correct. Great job, everyone.
Quick question to that. What is the measurement for the backcourt from there? I forgot there's a certain measurement that I feel like you're supposed to know.
Well, it's 94 by 50, so.
There we go.
94 in half, which would be 40, help me out,
7.
47.
40,
So
yes.
minus 2 inches, so
Plus
there you
2.
have it, something like that.
49.
Yep.
Awesome question. That's a great follow-up.
Yeah, I remember there was a certain number for it, but I couldn't remember exactly what the number was.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. One more question here. So we have a 30-second timeout. Team A calls a 30-second timeout. Can the cheerleaders or band or whoever come on the court and do what they do during, intermissions?
No,
No,
No.
no.
only
Not during timeout.
half time.
Only halftime.
Or,
Only
or media time or full or media timeouts.
Ooh, that's the right answer right
Yep.
there. That's the right answer. Full or immediate timeout?
And
They cannot-
intermission,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and intermission, and
And
in between
intermission.
quarters, and in
Yes.
between quarters.
Yes,
but,
but I was more referring to timeouts. But yes, I'm glad that came
Hold
Yeah,
up.
on,
but,
so full timeout is okay?
Full
Yeah.
timeout.
Yeah, but-
Cheerleaders, bands, or performers, or whoever, they cannot come out during 30-second timeouts.
But they can, but like the pep band can play like a quick song during that 30-second timeout.
Anytime the
On the
ball is
sideline.
dead,
Anytime the ball is dead.
Yes,
Anytime the ball is dead.
since a couple of years ago in the women's game, they've been allowed to play some short music songs, even like on an out of bounds, just to get the flow moving a little bit more.
As long as the ball is dead. If the ball is dead, so who knows when the ball is dead? When is the ball dead?
E,
Oh, that's so fun.
All right, real quick. When we blow our whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we blow our whistle, when the ball is going through the basket. I believe.
Yes. That was
Uh,
clear, right?
yes, Kia.
Yes.
Free
And
thrower.
it goes out of bounds.
Yes. When we blow our whistle. So, yes, so at that point, anytime music can be played and the cheerleaders can only come on during 60-second timeouts. KD, it's on you now.
Okay, if everybody could just remember to take their attendance, and we'll see you on Wednesday night. Great session, everyone, and thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Ask us, have your questions ready, bombard us with questions. We
Sounds
know
good.
they're coming. Don't be
Thank
shy.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Recording, Sherry, and the recording.
Good night.